Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic I wanted to talk about how narcissists are actors that will make you go crazy. Narcissists are actors, yes, actors that make you go crazy. This is a person that is acting. When you think about a character, right? When you think about a character in a movie, in a show, someone in social media. When you think about a character, you think about someone playing a role of someone else, right? This is someone that is, making themselves feel relatable to you, based off of this character, this actor. They want you to view them as someone you've seen before, someone that, you can see parts of yourself in. And they do this very intentional. They study you, they study other people, they study movies, they study shows, they imitate. This is someone that has no real true emotion besides greed, jealousy, any negative emotion. That's what they feed off of. It's an actor. They don't feel anything. They don't really feel the feelings they're expressing. You're basically dealing with someone that doesn't have an identity, and they're just like, wherever I'm bounced around, whoever I come across, I have a role to play with them. This is why a lot of times they try to tell you who you are instead of really hearing you out. So in my case, I noticed they had a perception of me that wasn't true. So I started showing them pictures of my old life before I met them. So as many actors, look to get compensated for their roles, the narcissist feels like they should be compensated for their roles, whatever role they have created for you. So what I noticed the narcissists do, towards the end of the relationship, is that when they were able to get that feel from others, they started to, when they're not around you, they act like they're quiet people maybe around you. And when they're not around you, they're getting around other narcissists and they're acting out. So they'll go up to strangers. They'll go up and talk to random people. That's how much confidence the narcissist has when you're with them and when they're triangulating. So what I noticed was that, they showed me a picture of them with a group of people in Vegas. And it was a large group of people. And he's like, oh, these are my friends, my new friends. So they realize that in order to make themselves look valuable, they have to pretend. A lot of times you can tell someone is a narcissist because if you really do a thorough background and really study them, where they came from, why they are the way they are, if you really study them, you'll notice that a lot of narcissists are stealing people's identities because they're actors. This is why it's very hard to distinguish whether you're dealing with a real person, because as a couple, you'll start to act like that person and vice versa. But what makes the narcissist so sinister is that their whole character and their appearance changes almost overnight. And that's where it's going to give you, there's going to be signs where you're going to be shocked because it's going to be a drastic change. See, the very first time it happened to me with a close friend of mine. And I started to notice that she was sharing her life story to other people, and people would tell me, your life story seems identical to your best friend. And I would think to myself, there's no possible way. So narcissists, they admire you in a way. and then they start imitating you. See, the narcissist, they felt dead. They were like a zombie before you met them, and then you woke them up. You woke up the beast, and now the narcissist, they start to believe that they're you, you know, and the moment they start triangulate you, because as when you get married and when you have a partner, you become one, yeah. Even with your friends, you have to be careful, right? Like I told you guys, my friend started imitating me. But eventually she turned on me, and she turned on me because she started to believe she was me. And she started to feel like I betrayed her, even though I had never done anything to her. And I was unconscious at the time. And she was, conscious when it came to her lies. And a lot of narcissists have been doing this for so long that when they get older, they don't have the remorse to show. They, justify their actions by believing that their behaviors are normal. They think it's normal because a lot of narcissists around them act the same way. So it's been normalized to them. So the narcissist watches the people around them who are actors, who have played roles in their lives, and they stick around, and they try to get information out of them. And then the narcissist starts thinking that they're different from these people. They feel like they're on another world, and these people are trying to steal information from them, and they start to do the same thing to others, but they can't tell when they're doing it to other people because they are such great actors that they actually believe their role. It's like someone telling them you have to pretend to fall in love with this person, and they actually start to play it so well until they catch themselves and they're like, hey, remember, you're only here for to do an assignment. You're only here to do your job, and that's to drive this person crazy. So as soon as that Jezebel spirit steps in, their spiritual mate, right? That spiritual mate that they feel like they're connected to, they've been trying to figure out this Jezebel for years. The Jezebel, every new version of her that comes out, they're picking at that new version, It never works out. They know it never works out, but they're willing to take that risk because as an actor, you should be able to compensate, from people, and you should be able to live the Hollywood life because the narcissist is living in their own little delusional world. Narcissists, will literally try to drive you crazy by literally selling you fantasies about what they're going to do, how their life is going to be. So they might have not had an acting job when you met them. Now you've gave them a role and they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You're looking like, where's the money going to come from? They're like, don't worry about that. I'm manifesting right now. So, the narcissist feels like they manifested you into their life. They feel like they invoked you. They feel like, I have an empath. I'm going to get the Jezebel. Once I get the Jezebel, I'm going to find me another empath, and let's get the show on the road. Let's go on and get the show on the road. So they'll start driving you crazy because they'll start, telling you, hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do more of this. They're trying to change who you are and your narrative, almost as if they're a movie producer. And you're like, no, you're confusing me with someone else. They're like, no, I found the right, you're playing the role. I just need you to do this. I just need you to do that. You're not listening. The moment, things aren't going right and they're driving you crazy, and now you're like, this person has no common sense. Something's up with them. I'm not listening to them, or I have to watch out for them because They think life is a movie and they're going to get me in trouble. They're sticking their heads out the window. They're doing all type of things. They're trying to get attention from strangers. Like, they think people are paying attention to them in ways that they're not. So you're dealing with someone that is constantly coming up with ideas and things, and they're like, oh, that person's jealous of me. Did you see that person? Oh, that guy, he's a loser. So they are constantly coming up with scenarios to make themselves look good and for you to feed into their fantasy. So you're dealing with a crazy person that wants you to feed into their delusional world. They want you to see things that that you don't see, that you don't understand, and you're looking at it from the outside in and you get what's going on, but you're like, it's not real. How the narcissist wants you to live, it's not real. So you're trying to tell them, hey, it's time to settle down. It's time to do these things. It's time to get serious. We have plans to make. But they want to live in almost like in a some type of love and hip hop type of show. So they'll admire you. They'll steal the way you laugh. They'll start laughing like you. Your passion, your commitment, your kindness, your vulnerabilities, just your compassionate, your empathy for people. All of your good traits are things that the narcissist will start to imitate. All of your mannerism, all of that, they'll start to mimic it. And you'll start feeling them. They start feeling good about themselves, As a partner, as a couple, you feel each other. That's what a couple does, right? You feel each other. But the moment the narcissist starts getting they feel like, okay, the universe feels like I've done enough for you and now I'm getting my blessings. So the moment they start getting their they become arrogant right away. It's like, I just got a promotion, I'm only going to go up from here, they become very just delusional, and they know that this energy is coming from you. That's part of it. It's that they're conning you, and they know that this energy is coming from you. They know that the energy they're attracting to other people, it comes from you. And when you point it out to them that they're doing certain things that you do, they're laughing like you, or they're talking like you, or they're stealing certain things, they'll deny it. So they go from someone that claims to be a victim to now they're saying that they've always been like this. I've always been like this. You don't really know me like that. So if you're running across someone who is denying that they're stealing qualities about you, it's one thing if you're a couple and you tell your partner, well, I'm around you all the time, but someone who's actually denying the effect that you're having on them is someone that is an actor. This is why the moment that they start denying the effect that you're having in their life and the fact that they're getting better in their life, they're evolving, the moment that these people deny the effect and the power you have over their life, get rid of them. Because yes, as an empath, you also have that drive. But you're not going to leave the narcissist behind because of that drive. And even if you don't have the narcissist with you, you still have that same drive. See, the narcissist, they're not used to having that drive because they're used to being with Jezebel spirits. And that Jezebel spirit gives them that high and takes it away. So when they take it away, they come to you. And this is why there's a balance when they triangulate. And this is why when they can't triangulate, they go crazy. And this is why you're wondering, why are they coming back when they already have someone? And that's because they need balance. Because they have none. They're out of tune with reality, and they want you to believe that you're the crazy one. They'll sell you a lot of stories, and you'll look up to them because they have a lot of information. But this person is an actor, meaning that this isn't the only role that they're playing with you. They've played many different roles with other people. And when they start playing these roles with people, they actually start to believe that they are who they're imitating. So if they come into your life, into your world, they'll start to study your world. And once they feel comfortable as a character, as an actor, once they feel comfortable and they're like, okay, no one is noticing that I'm a full-blown actor. This is why they think that they're special or different, because they're lying they're conning you into a friendship, relationship, whatever it is. There's, they might be family. They've always had control over people, and now they want control over you. They don't want you to wake up. So they're they're giving you that image of someone that they're not, someone that they've made up. They've made up this person. They've put up this mask. So what happens is that you start to feel comfortable and you let your guard down. The moment you let your guard down, the narcissist will start picking at things in your life, and they'll start making it seem as if it's easy to be in your shoes, that they could be in your shoes. They can walk a mile in your shoes. Then, they start making it seem as if, they've always lived the type of life that you have lived. See, I always picked up on that because, I didn't grow up rich, but I didn't grow up poor, and I went to private schools. And, the area that I lived in, there was a lot of wealthy people in my area, and everyone just kind of has, good morals, good families, and things like that. And the area that he came from was more like an east side type of area. And, he claimed that during his teen years, when he was in high school, he went to go live with his grandmother. And he's like comparing the fact that his grandmother was a Christian to my grandmother. So he's like, my grandmother was a Christian too. She lived in your area too. Like, we're on the same page, we're on the same level, but we're really not. So they're trying to compare themselves to you because they lived somewhere for a little bit, right? But that's not who they are. So the narcissist this is why the narcissist, with every supply they get, they go and live with them for a little bit, and the delusion starts setting in. Just like the delusion started with their grandmother, right? So the delusion starts setting in. They're not comfortable with where they're at or where they're from, and they're always lying. And that's why people don't like them, because they're always lying. This is why they get in good with people, and then people start noticing, like, you're not someone that started from the bottom and you're trying to work yourself up. You're a weasel. You're an actor. The confirmation for me, because like I said, I thought I was going crazy. I was like, maybe I'm starting to become, wiser, older, and maybe I'm going crazy now. Maybe I have something's going on in my mind, because this person's telling me that I'm the delusional one. They're telling me I'm the delusional one when I'm telling them, you don't know what you're talking about. When he starts talking about people, he's like, everyone does this. He's trying to instill his beliefs on my family. He's like, oh, people like your family look down on people because they're on drugs, but your family's on prescription drugs and things like that, right? So they're basically letting me know that the low-grade narcissists that they're around are on drugs. And as much as they want to try to make me believe that my narcissistic family, that everyone's on drugs, I can tell you who's on the prescription drugs. I can tell you, okay, this aunt, she has pain medication. This aunt, she had cancer. She's a narcissist. She tells people that they shouldn't do drugs, but yet she has like edibles and things like that. So yeah, I do know that a lot of narcissists tend to have addictions, but some of the narcissists in my family, I know for sure they don't do drugs, but maybe they need to. Like Judge Mathis said, maybe you need to, you know? So my whole thing with them is that they were trying to have their own have me have a perception of people that is not true when they haven't even been around them. If you really pay attention, people will start to confirm everything without really giving you a direct answer. People, children, anyone around the narcissist. This is why the narcissist will start to separate you from people, because the people around them will confirm things that you're already thinking about, their delusional acting roles that they're playing. And one, his older brother, said to me, when the narcissist started getting loud, I knew he wanted me to get loud because I knew what type of person he was. And I'm like, that's not me. I don't like fighting. I don't like arguing. I don't like stressing out. So when I realized, this person, they're trying to purposely stress you out and they want you to yell. And I didn't yell at them. Their family member told him basically to be quiet, and he blamed it on me. He said, it was her. She's starting stuff like a little kid, right? And I'm like, narcissists are like adults in little kid bodies. It was annoying. And his brother said to me in private, it's just that my brother, he thinks he's something that he's not. And when he said that to me, it was like, ding, 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 ding. That's what I've been thinking the whole time. You're trying to make me feel some type of way about my life and the narcissists in my world. But the narcissists in my world are not even as low down as you are. You're on a low level. So, that's something that I figured out about narcissists when they're trying to drive you crazy, because higher grade narcissists, they don't really come at you the way a low grade narcissist comes at you. A higher grade narcissist has more to lose. They have flying monkeys that will do the dirty work. But when you're dealing with a low grade narcissist, they want you to believe their fantasy, where, in a higher grade narcissist, it's easier to believe the fantasy because they actually have things of value that make you fall for the fantasy, because they have funds, they have money. This is why low-grade narcissists, they want you to believe their delusion based off of a car. The narcissist is like, all I need is a nice car and I can fool people to make them believe I'm up there when I'm not. Low-grade narcissists feel like all they need is a car, a motorcycle, something to make them look cool, and then they could just feed you stories that you're going to fall for. When you're dealing with a higher grade narcissist, it's harder because they have people standing like an army to get to them. With a low-grade narcissist, they're trying to tell you you're crazy, but they don't have nothing to show you. Nothing really that you can learn to get to another level, because they have a lot of information, but then there's a lot of gaps that's not matching up to who they are and who they think that they are in their delusional world. And they'll start to think that higher grade narcissists are trying to be like them. They're trying to be like me. The higher grade narcissists want to be like me. And then they have moments of realization where they realize that they're the ones who really are trying to kiss ass to them. Because you'll see that some of these narcissists, they'll drop you, like a dime to be with another man. And this is just their friend. But they feel like because they're opportunists and they're actors, they feel like they're going to steal information, they're going to steal game, they're going to even steal money. While they're with you and they start triangulating you, they start getting around other people. Those people will confuse the narcissist because now they can't go in between both characters. They can't keep that act up with you anymore. They can't go from one mask to the other, even if the narcissist seems like a very intelligent person. And, they can't go between wearing those two masks. So what ends up happening is that you start catching on to things. You start seeing things with your own eyes. You start looking at their behaviors and you're like, this person's not a real person. They're not authentic. All the information they've been feeding me, they don't even believe in it. They're just saying this stuff to relate to me. So if you're a spiritual person, they're going to throw spiritual stuff at you and things that you can relate to and knowledge that you can understand. And you're going to feel like you found someone that thinks like you. But to them, it's an act. So the further you go into your spirituality, you start to see things that within yourself, right? Because a narcissist is mirroring you. So now you start seeing things within yourself and you start questioning your own reality, because now you're telling yourself, the narcissist keeps projecting these things, but they don't really live by these things. They keep saying that they're good to other people and that, I'm the only person that thinks they're evil. Or they might even tell you a lot of people think, I'm evil, but I've been nothing but nice to you. So they're gaslighting you. They keep mind fogging you. They want you to go to the point. They want you to be in that state of confusion, because the longer you're in that state of confusion and you keep accepting it, the more you start going crazy. So once you start going crazy and you're out of your mind, meaning that you're out the box now. You're out the box. Now you're reacting to how you feel because you cannot think anymore. You're just reacting to how you're feeling. So you're just like, I love this person, so I'm going to accept that they're a fake person. Because I can see past the fakeness. I can see past the fake laughs. I can see past the smirk. I can see past the pain, the lies, the cheating. I can see past all of that. But the narcissist doesn't care. They knew that there was going to be a process, and they knew that within that process, you were going to uncover things either way. So this is why they want you in a state of confusion. This is why they'll make up arguments. They'll make up events. They'll make you believe that they're cheating even when they're not. Especially if you're dealing with someone that's low grade and they really don't have anything. They'll love bomb you, and then they'll start making you feel like they're triangulating you, even if they're not triangulating you, because they feel like that's going to give them power and that's going to make them seem more masculine, like more desirable. It's kind of like going somewhere and, guys are hitting on you, and you go home and you tell your partner, oh, there was a guy at work flirting with me, right? The narcissist will look at that like you're being narcissistic because you're trying to provoke something in them and you're trying to make them jealous by showing them or telling them how valuable you are. So the narcissist wants you out of your mind to the point where you're just opening up to them, telling them every little detail. And now once you tell them every detail of your life, you literally are constantly telling them your thoughts. You're not keeping any thoughts to yourself. You're not keeping anything to yourself. You're out of your mind. The narcissist is sitting back like, dang, I got this person out of their mind. They tell me everything. See, they know you're telling them the truth. They accuse you of things that they're doing, and they know that they're acting, And the moment that you realize that they're acting, they'll tell you, You might tell them, hey, you drove me crazy. You made me lose a lot of opportunities, friendships. They're looking at you like, hey, I was just acting. I was just doing this to make myself more desirable. I was just with you to get supply. It's not a big deal. Relax. So they'll take and drain you, and then they'll make it seem like they weren't acting. And then they're kind of like, believe whatever you want to believe. Like, I have the right to change my mind. I have the right to move on. So as a person, right, you're free. You have free will. You have the free will to be with whoever you want, of course, right? But if someone never really wanted you to begin with, they're deceiving you. So this narcissist actor intentionally tries to drive you crazy because they're out of their mind. They need someone that has common sense. The narcissist is like a sneaky person, a sneaky little kid with no boundaries. This is someone that is constantly testing people's limits. They look at people as a joke. They look at what you have as a joke. They don't care how low they go because they always feel like I'll always be able to deceive someone and pick myself up and make someone feel sorry for me. I've seen the narcissist use their autistic son to get out of situations at work. They'll continuously tell lies because they don't see anything wrong with lying. You're dealing with someone that's like, there's nothing there. They're just doing stuff. They're an alien and they've abducted you. They've abducted you from everything you knew. And now you're like, why does it seem like I'm so far away from my life? How can my old life seem so far away? How could people that I once knew seem so far away, but they're at arm's length? They're not that far. Because the narcissist has secluded you and taken over your life, taken over your identity. They've sucked every detail out of you out because you were willingly talking to them, you're giving them every single detail, every single thought that you have. I remember thinking like everything is going wrong. Am I really crazy? What am I doing? What's going on? That was my whole mindset. And I remember we were sitting on the grass and you would think like this is a happy couple or something, or, because we went out for some sunlight and, the narcissist tried to portray like this nature person, like, oh, I like nature. So we're sitting at this park and I just started crying. I just felt so bad. And I started crying and I didn't even know why I was crying. I was just crying. And then he says, oh my gosh, we're going to do this again. And I'm like, I don't know why I feel so sad. And he was like, I don't know what's going on and why you're crying, but he knew why. I was confused. I was being triangulated. I was being discarded, hoovered, stalked. He was stalking me, He wouldn't leave me alone. He wouldn't leave me alone. I would wake up with notes on my car. He would come to my window. He would come to my car. He would go to places that, he knew I would be. He would contact people that knew me. He would contact, that one favorite cousin that you have and ask questions. But really, he really wanted to get in and be friends with my cousin because he knew my cousin was a musician and he had equipment and things like that. So he really wanted to use my cousin. And at the same time, I would think to myself, why would you reach out to that cousin of mine? They never even exchanged numbers with you or anything. You look them up. How did you even find them? And it just let me know that they were paying attention. Like I brought them around my cousins one time and they were paying attention to their names, everything. They studied them because next thing I know, they found my cousins on the internet, and I didn't even talk to my cousins on the internet like that. I never go to my cousins' pages, never, I just see them when I see them type of thing. So these people are actors. And that's when I started to notice like the weirdness, like the opportunist side of them. I would think to myself, what would an evil person say? So I would always be like a couple steps ahead of him because I always felt like I knew what an evil person would do because I had studied them. Because then I start thinking, maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe it's them, right? So I start thinking to myself, let me think the opposite of what someone would do that really doesn't care about me. And it seemed like they would always check the list off. So when I was at that park and they kept telling me, you're going to have to get your mind right. You're going to have to, I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe you need to go to the hospital. Like, he was telling me a lot of things, but my intuition was always telling me that he was lying. And it was so many times that I had dreams of the things he was doing to me behind my back. And it got to the point where it got so demonic that he, we would go somewhere and he would tell like the other supply to meet him up there. And I think she would just sit in the bar and like watch me because I had a dream about her. And the girl comes and she like sits next to me when he left. He had left for a little bit. And while I waited for him to come back, some girl came out of nowhere and she just like sat next to me. And instantly my intuition said, that's her. And I looked over at her and she gave me a smirk, like she knew something I didn't know, right? But I knew. So I remember I kind of like rolled my eyes at her, like, out of this whole room, why did you have to come sit next to me and why so close? Like, what do you think I'm going to sit here and wait for him to come back so you can blasphemously sit next to me and act like, turn around and act like you're not doing nothing? I felt her energy instantly and I was like, I'm not going to give her that type of satisfaction. So I remember just kind of like rolling my eyes, and I knew she was secretly jealous of me. I knew that she was envying me. I knew by the way she looked at me and she stared at me. She knew I was on another caliber than her, but yet she still wanted to almost like rub it in my face type of thing. But to me, it was like, I know you're kind. You're a Jezebel. I know you're kind. And then I started to realize that the narcissist was really wicked because I'm like, he sat there at that park and made me feel like I was really crazy and told me all these things. But here goes the girl from my dreams. It was like God was trying to pull me out. I'm not lying to you guys. That's why I make these videos, because it's mind-blowing how crazy I felt at that moment. But that's why I learned to pay attention to my intuition, to my dreams, and to people and angels around me that came into my world, into my dimension. And it was like, pay attention to the signs. They're everywhere. It's like small world. I think not, type of thing. So I felt like it was something about her that I almost felt like she was after me. Like, I'm coming for the narcissist type of thing. So all the signs were there, and I was basically prepared for the final discard. I was prepared for it already. I had already went through so much to where, like I told you guys, I couldn't cry anymore. So I couldn't cry anymore. I was just having dreams. The first dream that I had of the girl, and I knew exactly what she looked like, that dream, I cried when I woke up. After that, my spirit was basically preparing for what was going to happen. So you're not crazy. You might feel crazy because once they see that you're going crazy and there's confusion, they know exactly what they're doing. Because I remember the narcissist telling me, I got you good. Like, he's like, you're never going to be the same. So they do this on purpose. They deliberately drive you crazy on purpose. On top of that, he told me to kill myself. He was like, you should just kill yourself. And I was like, Why would you say something like that to me? You should just kill yourself. Like, why would you say, I thought you loved me? What does love have to do with it? I just told you to kill yourself. Don't call me anymore. Click. What? And then I would spend, weeks, months by myself. And this person would come again. And they would start leaving notes on my car again. Start trying to promise me things, wedding rings, everything you can think about. It's psychotic. It's really crazy. Wedding rings, they'll do anything. There's nothing a narcissist won't do to get control of you. And when someone is not making you happy and it's all about control and you never feel safe, you never feel good, you never really feel like they love you, you feel like they're always keeping a secret, they are being too secretive, they're facing their phones down. When you're dealing with someone like that, or someone who is clinging on to you a lot, like he was really, really clingy. And then he would try to, once he would get like a new supply, he would try to act like, you're clingy, you're a clingy girl. But all my relationships I ever had, I've never been told that. I've never been a clingy girl. So what they do is that they'll become really clingy, and then they'll start projecting that you're the clingy person. But before you met them, you probably had other relationships. You probably were still able to focus on school and work and things like that. But when you're dealing with someone who's lying to you and someone who is an actor, they will drive you crazy because you never know who you're dealing with. Anyone who lies to you is putting you in a position to mess with your mental state of mind. They're basically throwing missiles at you. Anyone who lies to you is throwing missiles at you. So the moment you see people lying, your alarm should go on. It doesn't matter how nice, how attractive they are. It does not matter. And what I've noticed about narcissists is that they can tell, especially narcissist men, they can tell when they're around other narcissist men, but they cannot read the Jezebel spirit easily. So if you really what I paid attention to, right? If I was watching like one of those court shows or something with the narcissist, and we would see like a narcissist man, right? You know how a lot of these shows have narcissist men and they're like conning women in like divorce court and like those type of shows. A lot of those shows, the narcissist would tell me, oh, he's lying. He would know when the man was lying. So I studied the narcissist too. They'll tell you that their friends are narcissists. They're like, I'm not really their friend. I know it looks like I'm their friend, but I'm not really their friend. So they have that mentality, but then that they don't trust narcissists, but yet they'll still hang out with these narcissists, right? Then when I started to notice narcissist women, right? Because when you deal with a narcissist man, you're not thinking about the narcissist women. You're focused on how the narcissist man treated you, that you're ignoring the women. You know there's bad women, but you're not really, certain things about a bad woman that, characteristics that other people might know. But it's until you start, it's like you have a superficial level of intelligence when it comes to narcissistic women. But once you start to realize that you're different from a lot of other women and you start to study why you're different from them, just like you might have studied narcissist men and you've been with other men before that weren't narcissists and you can tell the difference, you'll start being able to tell the difference between these women. So once you're able to tell the difference between these women, you start to see, okay, this narcissist woman You know, she tries to portray to be innocent. She gaslights a lot. She cries and studies your emotions just like a narcissist man cries and studies your emotions. You start to see that they use their femininity to guilt trip you. You start to see that they don't really have any loyalty. You start to see that all it takes is one fight or one argument for them to go and talk to someone else. You start to see that narcissist women, the love is different. Like as an empath, you take a lot. Even when you know the narcissist is cheating, you still won't cheat, and then you'll be like, Keisha Cole, I should have cheated, right? But you won't cheat because you're an empath and you really love this person, even when you know they're doing you wrong. But with a narcissist woman, she wants all of the attention, just like you want all of the narcissist attention. The narcissist woman wants all of the narcissist attention too. But it's not because the narcissist thinks that the reason the narcissist woman wants all of their attention is because the moment that they don't get the attention from the narcissist, they're going to go and cheat. This is why the narcissist will leave you as an empath and drive you crazy to leave with that narcissist woman. They're selling you out. They're driving you crazy. They're selling you out. They'll leave with that narcissistic woman because they believe, hey, if I don't give her the time that she demands now, she's going to cheat on me. And I played my other relationship for her because she's the trophy, right? That's how they're looking at the narcissist woman. After they've probably both drove you crazy. She was probably in on it too. She might have not been in on it, but she most likely knew that narcissist had a relationship, but she probably didn't question him. She probably even flirted with him and was like, I don't know about what relationships you have right now, but I'm not going to question you about it, but you're going to have to make up your mind soon because I've noticed you've been disappearing. The narcissist woman's not dumb. She knows even if the narcissist isn't telling her or she's not in on it, she's still in on it because she knows. So the narcissist tries to give her the time that she wants. The narcissist woman is like, I'm done playing games. She has different men, right? She has different men. But then if something happens with these men and she feels like she's not getting the attention and supply that she needs because she might have been distracted with someone else, and the narcissist that you were in a relationship with that was driving you crazy, he was only coming around sometimes, right? And when he was coming around, he was love bombing her. So she was probably dealing with someone else, a couple of different people that were in and out of her life that she's just probably sleeping around with, using, just have men around her just to say she has someone around. She doesn't even take them serious, but she gets excited about the narcissist because he puts that little extra effort in. So when things start going wrong financially for her or her relationships with people, narcissist women don't get along with their friends. They always end up getting in fights with their friends and then making up with their friends because after they've disrespected their friends because of their narcissism, they tend to go, they still want that admiration from their friends. So they'll go around their friends and apologize and claim that their friends are like sisters to them, right? And while all this drama is going on with this narcissist woman, girl, whatever, because any woman with some right sense and who has standards, who has value, is not going to have random people in their house, random people around their kids. So that's the type of woman that the narcissist is going after, the Jezebel spirit. She might be crazy in her mind. She's out of her mind, but she might be attractive. So the narcissist wants you to be out of your mind like that narcissist woman so that he can feel as if there's no difference between the two. He's like, she nags me, you nag me, all women are the same. That's what they want you to think. So they want to drive you crazy. And then there gets a point where the empath, like I said, the empath realizes you're not, that you're not crazy. And then you stop playing with the narcissist because you're like, I know what the narcissist wants me to do. They want me to cry. They want me to yell. They want me to be mad. They want me to get on their level. They want me to cheat back. So once you start realizing that, a lot of times the empath suffers a lot. You go through a lot of heartache, sleepless nights, crying. But eventually you get strong and you're like, I'm not going to play that game that narcissist woman is playing. Her outrageous behavior, her impulses, her, trying to control everyone in her life and crying and using her femininity to to pull you in. So that you're nothing like the narcissist woman, but you can see how men can actually confuse you with her. Because you might have went through heartache just like her, but when the narcissist came around, that motivated you to be better, right? And you might have always been good, but they just gave you that extra boost. You've always been good. So when the narcissist gets around that Jezebel spirit, she feels the same way. She feels like she can do anything. The difference is that Jezebel spirit, she really doesn't do it. The narcissist woman, she doesn't really know how to get along with other women. So anything that she does is going to be like male related, or she's going to have a circle of people. Someone is going to have to guide her and influence her to change her attitude and things like that. And the narcissist, they want to save her. See, they're putting you down, but they want to save her when they don't really care about either one of you. But they feel like, I'm going to help her because she's acting like a damsel in distress, even though she's not feeling anything. It's a game for her, and she's getting off on your pain. This is why a lot of times you will feel like you're going crazy and you will feel as if you're under a spiritual attack from multiple sources. So that's when you are incapable. It almost feels like you're incapable to succeed in anything you want to do because there's a spiritual attack on you. And now the narcissist starts to view you like the Jezebel spirit, like both of you guys aren't doing anything, right? So this is why they hate it when the empath is finally able to get on their feet and they don't care about the narcissist or the Jezebel spirit. So when you start doing it, they feel as if, oh, you're only doing it because I'm making you feel good. You're going to leave just like the Jezebel spirit left, So now they have to be sadistic even more. And this is all because they're triangulating you. And now they can't differentiate between the two. They're like, you're full of drama. She's full of drama. I've been with you longer. You know me more. I'm going to leave with this person and mold them to be what I want them to be. But what I've noticed from watching reality, fake reality shows, when they portray the narcissist woman and the narcissist man, the narcissist that I was with could always spot that narcissist man, but he could never tell the difference between a narcissist man and a narcissist woman. That's what I noticed. When it came to the woman, he would always think to himself, it was crazy because when we would watch shows, someone who's an empath, I would tell the narcissist, she's an empath. She didn't do anything. She's telling the truth, right? And the narcissist would say, no, she's not. She's lying. She cheated on him. She's a liar. She cheated. But then when a narcissist woman would come on the screen, I would tell him, she's a narcissist. I wouldn't say she's a narcissist. I would say she's lying. She's not telling the truth. Oh, they got into one argument and she left and she went to go sleep at someone else's house. And then she started going over there every weekend. And then they started going places. See, an empath, we don't really have to do none of that stuff. Like, we don't have to go to friends' houses and then tell our friends, let's go party. Let's get away. Let's go. Let's make the narcissist jealous. I'm going to take pictures with other men. Most empaths, we don't have to do that. But people who are influenced with the narcissist and the Jezebel spirit, and who have Jezebel spirit friends, their Jezebel spirit friends will influence that Jezebel spirit to do things, and that Jezebel spirit thinks it's fun. So she's always going to do, things to play, mess with the narcissist's mind. So what I notice is that the narcissist man is attracted to the Jezebel spirit. They feel like they can change that Jezebel spirit. So they try to change that Jezebel spirit because they feel like they can, that's the only person they can really relate to, because that person's like them. But because they can't change that person, and that person won't bow down to them the way that they want to, they'll use you. They'll use you for emotional support. They'll use you for common sense. They'll use you for common sense. They know the Jezebel spirit has no common sense, but they're trying to instill your values into that woman. This is why the moment that you leave the narcissist alone and let them be with who they want it to be, who they prefer to be with, you'll see that they go crazy. They start driving themselves crazy. The narcissist drives themselves crazy. So who is really crazy? Are you crazy, or is the narcissist crazy? Because the narcissist keeps triangulating people, and they keep leaving empaths for the Jezebel spirit. And in the end, they end up with that Jezebel spirit, and they never respect that person. They start to hate that person. They start to feel like they're going crazy being around that person. Being in that person's presence just irritates them, So these are the same type of women that the narcissist, looks at as high value women. These are their high value women. They're the dream girl, the perfect girl, but they are not high value men. They don't have money. They don't have anything to offer you. They want the prize, or what they think is the prize, but they don't even understand that Jezebel spirit is controlling them and actually ruining their life. And then they come to you to try to put their life back into pieces. So the narcissist will try to drive you crazy because they're out of their mind, and they don't even have the right social skills. They don't even have the intuition or the right common sense when it comes to narcissist women. This is what they go after. They're trying to study the narcissist woman because they feel like people are always studying them. This is why, you can't believe everyone that goes around, especially men who go around acting like they're victims and acting like, they are the victim of narcissist abuse because, this narcissist woman did something to them. And a lot of times these are old men. How many women have you been with? How many women have you done this game to? And you didn't have the knowledge of narcissist. You didn't have the narcissist woman down packed. Now you do. Now you know the difference between who you are and who that narcissist woman is to you. A lot of times, these narcissist women actually remind them of their mothers. And a lot of times when they're sharing stories with you, they're sharing your story. They're not sharing their story. They're only sharing that one narcissist woman that really got them good. That's who they're sharing with you. They're not sharing with you the full truth. They're not telling you they went crazy and it was because of that narcissist woman, and they realized that woman reminded them of their mom in some ways. And they feel like if they can study this person, that then they could be happy together, because they're like, hey, the narcissist, woman, if she wants to cheat and I can cheat, we're going to have the perfect relationship, right? But it doesn't end up that way, because the Jezebel spirit wants all of the narcissist's time, and not only does she want all of the narcissist's time, but the moment the narcissist leaves because they feel like they want to cheat, that Jezebel spirit doesn't hesitate to cheat. She doesn't hesitate. And that Jezebel spirit also won't allow the narcissist back when they want to come back. They'll play games with the narcissist. And that narcissist has to keep trying to get back in. They're doing that Jezebel spirit is like, you're going to have to do something really crazy for me to open the door to you. You know how much I need your time. You're going to have to do something crazy to prove to me you want to be with me. So now the narcissist, they're knocking on windows. It's exciting for them. They love playing these games. They love the chaos. But then, the narcissist gets irritated. And this is why they come to you, so that they're like, the Jezebel spirit is playing games. I'm going to go to the empath and I'm going to relax and show that Jezebel spirit that I have somewhere to be, that I have somewhere to go. I'm just going to go and sit it out with the empath and wait for that Jezebel spirit to contact me. And as soon as that Jezebel spirit's like, hey, I'm done with this other guy I've been with, you can come back, the narcissist is like, I knew you were with that guy. And it turns them on. They're like, you've been having sex with someone else? That's a turn on. Now they're having makeup sex. And now you're left in the dust. You're left in the dust. This is why when the narcissist wants to come back and they hoover you and they start acting crazy and doing all these crazy things. But when you do it back to them, they don't like it. They're ready to hit you, beat you. That's because that's what they're doing with the Jezebel spirit. When the Jezebel spirit is not playing with them, they do everything to get that Jezebel spirit. They'll even pay the Jezebel spirit to take them back. And guess what? The Jezebel spirit will take them back. You pay them some money, they'll take the narcissist back. So guess what? Now they're treating you like you're the Jezebel spirit. Now they're hoovering you, offering you money, offering you dates, offering you shopping sprees, offering you wedding rings. They are doing this because they got this behavior from that relationship with the Jezebel spirit. So they're using you for common sense. That's the only thing. They're using you for a place to rest while that Jezebel spirit, waits for them to come back, And she's not really waiting. She's doing whatever she wants to do. And the narcissist knows that. And the narcissist has a deep hatred for the Jezebel spirit because, see, they're both playing the same game. But when the narcissist tries to get supply, he has to invest his money, right? That Jezebel spirit that he's going after, she might not have a career. She might not have education. She might just have a nice body, right? She might just have a nice body, but she's attracting different men, different supplies, and she doesn't have to spend any money. That's where the hatred for the Jezebel spirit comes from. And this is why the narcissist comes to you. And when they drive you crazy, it makes them feel like they're powerful. They basically, feel like, I got you before you got me. Even though there's actual women that are business women that don't need anything from a man, who pick up narcissists off the street, and these women get used when they're successful women, yet these narcissist women with nothing, who are considered high value, don't have two nickels to scratch together. So they're making it seem like they got you before you got them, but that's not even in your nature. And while they're squatting with you, they're thinking to themselves, I'm not going to give the Jezebel spirit the satisfaction. I'm going to show her that I have just as much power as she has. All in the name of you. They'll drive you crazy. Let these narcissists have each other. Trust me, they're playing a game with each other and they know it. So I hope that this message, was helpful for your healing, for your mind. Don't let these people drive you crazy. It took me a long time to gather all this information because I was sitting there at that park, sitting next to this person crying, my eyeballs out, telling myself, I think I'm crazy because I can't trust myself anymore. I can't trust my mind, my intuition, and everything my intuition is telling me because your words are throwing me off. You sitting here next to me, caressing me, it's throwing me off. On top of that, you're telling me, oh, you have to get your mind right. But before I met you, I was doing just fine. So everything that they try to instill in you, all of the bad qualities they project on you to make you go crazy, it comes from their relationship with the Jezebel spirit. That's the relationship that they have together. So they bring you into their triangulation, and then they make it seem like you're the outsider, and you deserve to be treated the way you deserve, because that's how they feel like you should set your own value because they do whatever they want to do, They feel like you should do whatever you want to do. The narcissist will even tell you, then cheat on me. Just cheat back on me because I'm just using you anyway. I'm trying to get back with that Jezebel spirit, but I hate her because she has more money than me. She has more money, more supply. She has more, no matter what. I'm trying to break her down because she's getting older, but that's not working. She's still flaunting around her body. She doesn't care. So they're focused on that Jezebel spirit. So they're identical to each other in many ways. But the narcissist man will always be more angry with the narcissist woman because they feel like almost like they depend on her in a way because she will always bring more money for them. And when the narcissist woman starts seeing that insecurity in that narcissist, she'll just get with a bigger narcissist. She'll think to herself, if I'm dealing with this narcissist, I'd rather deal with another narcissist. And that other narcissist will look at the narcissist that she's with, and he's looking at him like, you don't have that much money. I have more power than you. Money is power. And now the narcissist, you'll see that they'll come back around you and they'll come back around their friends and they'll start talking about what other people have and what they don't have and how other people get opportunities that they don't have. They'll start saying things where you start to relate to them because you're like, he's not crazy. He's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. Things like this do happen. People are greedy. So they'll sit there and tell you how people are greedy, right? But then they'll steal from you. And that's how you know you're dealing with a narcissist. This someone, no remorse, no empathy. So If you guys want to book a session, my information's on the description. If you guys have not subscribed and, you guys found this video useful for your sanity, I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, and peace in your healing. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.